Hello everybody! Today we're going to see how I draw Catwoman. Okay, pencils first and then Sharpie. So if you don't want to watch the pencil portion of the video where I sketch the entire thing out, look in the description and you'll see a link that you can click on that will take you to the Sharpie portion of the video. And there's also going to be one for color. So for those of you that are going to stick around, I'm going to start off with a quick sketch for myself and have some fun. Now, I'm going to do something a little different here. And not with the sketch, but with what I'm going to do with her whip. So for the most part, this is pretty much just anatomy. It's all it really is, because her suit is so skin tight, you know, just this bodysuit, that we're basically just drawing anatomy. That's it. And so, that being said, I am going to try to have some fun by, I was about to say drawing her like a cat, but really what I'm trying to say is by, yeah, drawing her like a cat. So I'm putting her in like a jumping, cat. I keep trying to think of a better word, because I'm not drawing her like a cat, but you know how a cat isn't just standing there like a person, you know, so I'm trying to do something a little bit more feline, you know, a little more catty. I can't think of a better descriptive word than cat, even though she needs something better than that, you know. But yeah, so, and I think like that. So what I'm going to do is, she's got a whip around her. I mean, she doesn't always, just, you know, not like she does in the comics, but she has one in Fortnite here. So what I think I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to like place it like it's flying around, almost like a tail. So it's not like this in Fortnite. It's not flying off of her, but I am going to wrap it around a little bit, and the end that where the handle is, I'm having it up like a tail. So, like I said, I'm having a little creative fun by doing what I want, the way I want to do it, and seeing how it comes out, you know, and having fun. That's what this is all about, right? I mean, we're here to have some fun and do what we want to do. That's the great thing about being the creators. You're the artists, you're the drawers, you're the one who decides that this is the pose I'm going to put it in. This is the action I'm going to place these characters in. And that's the great thing about it. And eventually you'll be able to do this too. You'll be able to decide the pose, the action, and the stance that you want to put these characters in. Like, I'm doing this because I know anatomy, or I understand anatomy enough that I can get away with it. That's all we can ever really do. I can never say I know it. So I'm having fun with being able to do this. Now, eventually, I know you're here just to draw what I'm drawing, but eventually you're going to start doing this too. Eventually you're going to learn your anatomy, you're going to get all this down, and you're going to start to do exactly what I'm doing by coming up with these poses. You may even come up with songs. I got songs all the time for these characters. I got one for the cat lady here. You want to hear it? Here she comes. Here comes the cat lady. There she is. She is the cat lady. Pretty bad, huh? I should stick to drawing and get away from the songs, I bet you're thinking. That's all right. Everybody thinks that. And that's why this is how I draw, not how I sing. Okay, so I like this. I like where we're going with this. So now I got to come up with the look and or her arms and her head, like that whole style, you know. Like, see if I've got it placed right, and I don't. I can already see that I'm off. And also, I think I'm going for the glasses up version. I think I like that. Okay. All right, so what I think I'm gonna do, and also I'm trying to do real anatomy too. I mean, no offense to the way some of these things are drawn or created and whatnot, but sometimes it's like, you know what, that's not real anatomy. She should have more fat there, or you know, that there should be more bends, and you know, Fortnite is not bad about it, but some comic books and things like that, like breasts don't do that. You know, you're drawing from a, you know, not a pose. What I'm trying to think of, a supermodel or an augmented this, or you know what I mean. It's like that's not how anatomy is. So I try to play around with more realistic looking anatomy. So bear with me while we have some fun and figure this out. But again, that's because I know anatomy. I understand the human form. Now, I don't always get it right, you know. So this is before some of you come back and correct me and go, excuse me, sir, but the one you did for episode 487-30 was bad, and you need to stop and go home. Take your toys and go home. You smell, take a bath. But like I said, I understand the basics of it, and that's why sometimes it does bother me. I'm like, come on, guys, you could have done better than that. You're just playing around a stereotype, you know? All right. And I'm going to erase some of these lines, because the other thing about this is we're working with Sharpies, and they're going to bleed, you know? So I have to allow for a little bit of delicacy. Like I can't draw tons of detail. I have to bring it in and control the amount of detail. Yeah, I'm always trying to find better words for you, but you know, I've already got the right ones. I know where I'm going. So, okay, this is not too bad. Okay, so how about I'm gonna have her hand up in like a fighting cat pose. Okay, so let's. I'm gonna have him a little exaggerated too, because I think well, again, my words are escaping me, but that's okay. That's because I'm an artist. I'm not a writer. I don't come up with pretty words. I'm going to exaggerate and try to come up with a good exaggerated cat hand, like she's fighting. So it's not going to be 100% human. I mean, I'm going to try, but I have to exaggerate some of the appendages and details. All right, not too bad. I kind of like that. So let's see, with this one, let's kind of do the same thing. She's jumping, she's fighting, you know. So how about we do, this one's tucked back a little bit. We'll raise it up. Got to draw that shoulder, draw a bit of a bicep. I'm trying not to make her too muscular, you know. Not that not that she can't be, but I'm trying to just make her more like a real person. But at that angle, the way the arm would be tucked back like that, you would see more of the definition, as opposed to it straight out like that, where it looks more flat. You know what I mean? It's this versus this kind of thing. Look at my finger. See, like this versus this, and you see more bulbous round, you know? My finger didn't get muscular. It's just that's just the way that muscles go. you know? Okay, so let's try, let's see, yeah, let's do something like that. And let's try not to get too big. You gotta be careful here. I did pretty good with this one, but I have a tendency to go too big with fingers or with hands. I don't know why. Oh no, I do know why. It's because I get excited and I want to start drawing even more. Okay, so the other one would be like this. Like that. Yeah, that's not too bad. I can live with that. I can live with that. Okay, so I lost my picture here. I'm just looking at what do you call them, at item shop pictures. So I'm just basically, and this is what you're going to do eventually too, I'm basically taking the item shop pictures, looking at the detail and building off of that. So I'm not looking at anybody or anything in this pose. I'm just trying to create it myself. So okay, and a few more little details. And she has a little bit of like ribs on her boots, you know, just a little bit of detail, something like that. And that should be good. So I think we're good. I think I'm ready to switch over to Sharpie. Let me erase some of this line just because I know where it is. I know what it's going to be, and I don't want it to stand out over the Sharpie. So I'm just going to lightly just get rid of some of these dark lines. The sketch did what it was supposed to do. Give me a place to go. It was a good start. Okay, I am ready. So let me grab some Sharpies and we'll welcome the skippers. All the skippers, the people that jumped over to the Sharpie section that didn't want to stick around during that. Well, here they go. Here, let's welcome them. You ready? Hello, skippers. Hello, people that jumped over to the Sharpie portion. Welcome to my drawing. The sketch is done and we're ready to get started. So I'm going to be using a Sharpie fine point and a Sharpie pen, mostly the fine point, but the Sharpie pen is for the finer details so I can control the line width much easier. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with the eyes. I'm going to start off with the face. And I talked about it in the sketch that I'm going to go with the glasses up version. That way I can draw her pretty face and have a little fun with it like that. So here, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to draw the top of the eyelids just to make sure I've got them not like this, you know, I've got them parallel in whatever angle I have. The head's pretty straight on, so as long as I get it like that, we're good to go. So I'm just going to draw the top of the eye like that, top of the eye like that. See where we are? This one looks a little higher, but it's good. I can live with that. It's not that big a deal. I can make all this work. So I'm going to draw the iris like this, not too big. They're very comic book big in Fortnite, but I don't want to go too big myself. Okay, so I'm just going to add just a few dots for the pupil. And the reason I'm doing that is because these Sharpies bleed on this paper so much. I'm using regular Sharpies, regular copy paper. This is 11 by 17, but I want you to be able to use the same things you have at your house. The problem is it bleeds. So with finer details like this, you got to be very careful. So now I'm going to draw just a little bit of the bottom like that. I'm not going to go all the way because, like I said, these are going to bleed. So I'm going to let the iris, the colored part of the eye, imply the bottom of the eye, the eyelid, or the bottom of the eye. Yeah. So this works out perfectly. Normally what I do is I try to make like a little bit of a cat eye makeup for the girls just to show a little bit of makeup. Like I said, because these are so delicately tiny, I can't do a lot of detail. So cat eye makeup is easiest for me to show that, look, it's a pretty girl with pretty makeup. And here it works out perfectly because she is a cat, you know, she has cat features. Now, before I start drawing the eyebrow, I'm going to draw some of her hair because it kind of covers up some of her face too. That's going to be the top of it right there. So I'm going to come down and I'm just going to kind of come over here like this and do one of these. And this will just kind of give me that edge to know that, look, I'm going to draw an eyebrow. Well, it's covered up, so that's all you can draw. Ooh, look at that. That bled for some crazy reason. Made some crazy lines in there. So same thing over here. I'm just going to kind of bring it over like this and like that. So that's where the edge of her hair is going to be. And so same thing, now I know I can draw some of the eyebrow like this, but it's got to disappear behind the hair like that, okay? So now that that's said and done, I can draw a little bit of the bridge of the nose, just a little bit like this, but not much, because again, these are bleed, and I know it's going to be repetitive, me saying that over and over again, but that's what happens with these Sharpies. So I'm just going to draw a little bit of nostrils like that. Not much. I can't really do too much here. Again, guess why, kids? Because it's going to bleed. Look at that. That's weird. It started chipping. All these little black dots. I'll take care of that in the color, but this Sharpie's dying. It's time to get rid of it. Okay, I'm switching to another Sharpie. Okay, so now I'm just going to draw her mouth, and we're going to draw the actual opening of the mouth, just a slit, then we'll do the lips, okay? So I'm just going to do, we'll start in the middle, we'll just kind of do like that. And that'll kind of give us a place to start. And I can do, oops, that kind of got a little short. The top of the lip, then the bottom of the lip, okay? I'm going to try to fix some of that. See, it's starting to bleed, so I can only go so far with this. I'm going to have to stop because I don't want it to completely close off the mouth. So I'm going to stop there, and I'm going to draw her chin down here like this, and then come up here for the side of her face and go up there. And I'm keeping this super thin. I say that, watch, I'm probably going to mess up and go super thick because I want to draw the edge of her mask too. So usually I start to thicken it up because I'm going to use the big Sharpie as well. Look, I'm already starting to do it. I'm going way too thick. But I'm going to draw the edges of her mask as well. So I'm trying to keep it a little thinner, okay? So here's what we're going to do. So I'm going to draw her hair like this, or the edge of her hair, because this is where the mask is going to kind of cover up where the edge. I don't know what words I'm trying to... My words are not working tonight. I'm so sorry. I really apologize. Okay, so let's do the mask, or the glasses, and then we'll work on that hair, okay? And this is not going to be perfect. Don't worry. Don't freak out. It's no big deal. Nothing is ever perfect, and if it is, great. But don't freak out if it's not. So I'm just kind of playing around with the shape of them. I've already sketched it out, so I know where I was going with this. So see, it's close, but it's nowhere near perfect, and that's okay. I'm fine with that. And now I'm just going to kind of draw the lenses inside, and there you go. There's perfect and not perfect. I got too close there. I didn't get close there. That's okay. I can live with that because this is how I draw. You draw how you draw, and we'll meet somewhere in between. And look at that. Look at that. That's not perfect. That should have been more round like that, but that's okay. It's all right. I can live with all this. We're going to work with what we got instead of be upset with what should have been. Okay? That's the best way you can live your life. So now I'm going to thicken these lines up just a little bit, just a hair, because it's now a little too thin. And I want it to stand out with thickness a little bit more. So I'm just going to do something like that. Not too much. Okay, there we go. So now we have our hair edges, or our start stop points. We can draw a little bit of hair, a little bit of something, but we're not going to go too crazy. We're just going to kind of do one of these, something like that, and something like that. Okay, and let's draw. Let's see, and let's bring it like this. That'll kind of bring it all the way around. Bring it back to Hair Town. And instead of drawing all the lines like I want to do, I'm just going to stop there. Okay, I'm not going to stop there. I'm going to do one more. Like that. Okay, maybe one more. Like that. Stop. Stop. Stop what you're doing. Okay, I'm going to thicken this up. Kind of, I see it's all jaggedy. I'm going to try to straighten that out just a little bit. Just to make myself happy. It's not necessary. Okay, I'm happy with that. I say let's keep going. But I'm going to switch over. I'm going to go to the big Sharpie now. So now that I have my thin defined moments, now I'm going to go with the big edges. So I'm going to follow it around with my sketch and build off of that. So I'm going to come up here like this for her neck. Yeah, it's about where I was. And if I cannot touch that, great. If I do, no big deal, because that's the edge anyway. See, it started touching, no big deal. Plus this is starting to bleed, so I gotta be very careful of that. So I'm gonna come up here, same thing, just kind of do this. Go up here, draw the ears, come up like that. Like that. I'm gonna draw the top of the head. Over like that. Look how much that's bleeding. Ooh, ooh. We gotta invest in some better stuff, right? But this is what we have, and this is what we're gonna make work. All right, so I'm gonna close it off, draw a little bit of her neck, and then start off with the with her suit. Okay, so I'm gonna draw her neck again. Do like that. I'm gonna thicken that up just a bit with this Sharpie because that one's starting to bleed too much. Okay. All right, so let's go here. So now, oops, again, lost my picture. Okay, so now I'm gonna draw her shoulders hunched up because she's got her arms raised. And basically we're just drawing like anatomy. You know, we're just gonna kind of follow along the sketch that I did and just kind of draw a human body with, you know, action moments in it. So that's why I'm just gonna kind of follow it up. Follow my, my little drawing that I did here. I'm not going to separate it. I'm not going to worry about, well, this is where her wrist is. This is, no, I'm just drawing what I drew because you know what? I sketched it all out. I did the hard work. I did the leg work. Now I can just kind of do the rest of it. The downside to this is these Sharpies will bleed, you know? And so that's why we're getting a really jiggity jaggedy lines right there because these Sharpies bleed quite a bit. Okay, so I'm just going to follow anatomy in. I'm going to do her rib cage to her waist, and I got her bent right there and extended this way because she's kind of extended out like that. Okay, so before I go any further, I'm going to talk about what I did here. What I did, talked about it in the sketch, that I took her whip and I made it into a tail. And what I did by that is it goes around her a few times, and on this last round, I made it flip out to like a tail. I know it's not like that in Fortnite, but I figured, you know what? She's Cat Lady, right? I know, Catwoman, I'm being silly. She's Catwoman, and so I'm gonna make her more like a cat, so I gave her a tail. So, that being said, we gotta figure out how to do this. So we're gonna do one loop like that, there's another one there, and another one here. So, I'm going to close this off. That's where the first round is, okay? And that one's gonna be tight against her. Like that, up against her body, and there's where her body's going to go up like that. This next one I'm going to flow out a little bit, and then that will allow for this one to flow more too. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to, let's see, I'm going to do it like this, do something like that, and if this isn't parallel, that's okay, no big deal. Like that. Now that I have that, I can draw the other side, because what that means is her body's in here like this, like that, and it's just hanging off of her more. So basically that's giving it freedom to flow more, okay? So this next one, I'm gonna do like this. I'm gonna do like this for the handle, something like that, and then I'm just gonna bring it back in, and like I said, it's not gonna be parallel, and that's okay. I'm drawing that side like that, like you can see through it. Draw the other side like this. Like that. Now see how that's thicker and that's thin? No big deal. Who cares? It's the idea. We're having fun. You know, this is how I draw. You draw how you draw. We'll meet somewhere in between. And I'm just going to do something like this. Again, it's not like that in Fortnite, but I'm just drawing like that's the handle. That's what that is. Now I could draw more of it all the way across, but we're not worried about that right now. Now we're just going to keep going with the anatomy. So, like I said, I've got her kind of arched back, so that means her belly's like this, her ribs are going up like that, her breast is right there, it's going to come up like this, and I'm just going to do this just so you have something, okay? Color is going to take care of the rest of her breast and all that stuff, so we don't have to worry about drawing big circles or anything like that. A lot of times they do that in comics. We're not worried about that. We're just drawing what we have here. We're worrying about real anatomy, okay? So I'm going to raise this shoulder up. Going to bring this one down because of the way it's facing. You're seeing a little bit more of things overlapping themselves. So I was going to bring this arm like this because it's kind of back. It's back behind her. That's why it's like that. So that way I can bring this arm over here. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, so now I'm just going to draw her hand. Like I said over there, I sketched it out. I did the hard work. All I got to do is draw the fun stuff now. Okay, and I'm going to have one finger back like that. I have it kind of sprawled out like that. That's what I have. Draw the nail, her cat nail, like that. This one's up even further. But these aren't. These are bent in because they've extended out as far as they're going to go. Okay, there you go. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do a little bit of this. I'd like to give you some glove lines, you know, seam lines, like things bend and whatnot. So I'm just going to do something like that, just to show that there is some stress, is what I'm trying to say, in her suit, and by the way she's bending, you know. So there you go, something like that. Okay, all right. So now we just got to do the rest of it. So I've got her kind of over like this, and she's got this leg extended out. Okay. And so let's see, well, conveniently right there where her crotch is, the whip is over, so the lines that I need to try to figure out how to do, they're already covered up, so I don't have to worry about that. So I'm just basically just going to draw some anatomy like this. Now what I was going to do is show you, like, that is her, the way her body flows up like that. And so there are some stress creases in her her suit. So we could do something like that because she is stretched out, you know? All right. Okay, so let's, the reason I wanted to do that line right there is because this knee I've got tucked in underneath it. And I'm drawing those little jaggedy, not loops, that's not the word I was going for. But I guess they are like straps, you know, like where her boots are wrapped around her leg. Yeah, let's do that. That's simple. All right, so, okay, so let's finish up over here. So now we're gonna draw her posterior, the buttocks right there. There's where her leg reconnects. And down to her boots. So I'm doing the same thing, just kind of extend it out. And so I've got this leg up like that, just kind of stretched out, you know. And that's all we're doing for that. So now I'm just gonna add a few more little extra lines. Again, just some anatomy lines. And let's see, we'll give her a knee like that. I'm gonna draw the those little bumps that are in her boot. Buckles. I don't know why I can't say the word buckles. I keep saying those bumps. Like that. She's got stress on the heel right there because it's all, what do you call it? Bunged in, you know, bent from being pushed back like that. So yeah, that's it. That's all we can really do. I say we take care of the rest with color. So that is Catwoman. So here is my colored version. You could do it however you like. I just thought I'd show you how I decided to color it. If you'd like to color it like this, you can always pause the video here and use the coloring techniques that I used, or you can just make it your own. Remember, this is how I draw. You draw how you draw. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more adventures of how I draw. Plus, don't forget to hit that notification button to be updated about each new video.